Hey everyone! Something huge is coming back to the Buffyverse, and it's bigger than you might expect. We are not just talking about a new Slayer or fresh faces, this is a whole new chapter in the story of Buffy and her friends. But here is the thing, this isn't just a reboot, it's a chance to explore the legacy of the Slayer, to see how these stories can evolve, challenge us, and maybe even surprise us in ways we never imagined. Fans have been debating it for decades, shipping wars, character arcs, love, loyalty, and power. Right now, the next era of the Buffyverse is slowly taking shape right before our eyes. Whether you are a die-hard fan or just curious what all the hype is about, make sure you catch every second. The Slayer is back, and things are about to get intense. Buffy the Vampire Slayer's comeback is getting closer, and that means we're finally seeing more than just rumors. We have content straight from the set. First up, the new Slayer is already here, Ryan Kiera Armstrong. She's set to take a leading role in the story. At the same time, the expanded cast has been revealed, introducing a brand new version of the Scooby Gang. The pilot will also have guest stars, and some of them might stay on if the series gets picked up. But the big question for longtime fans remains, what about the original Scoobies? Because let's be honest, Buffy wasn't just about the chosen one. It became a show about teamwork, about an ensemble of brilliant actors, and I'm convinced they'd be thrilled to return to such an iconic series. James Marsters has spoken positively about it, and Charisma Carpenter keeps engaging with fans' question. In fact, the legendary Charisma Carpenter has even launched a Buffyverse-themed podcast. And come on, that can't be just a coincidence. Sure, Cordelia died in Angel, but Sarah Michelle Gellar herself has said she'd love to bring back everyone we lost in the Buffyverse. And yes, that includes Tara and Anya, two characters fans have been begging to see again. Another hint that our favorite cast members are open to returning. They keep showing up at conventions. From David Boreanaz to the lovely Juliet Landau. Almost 30 years later, the fandom is alive and thriving. Of course, with all the excitement, there's still some doubt. Because here's the thing, Buffy already has an official continuation in comic form, 4 full seasons that reveal the truth behind the Slayer prophecy. And by the way, I have deep dives on those comics right here on my channel. Go check them out. These stories were approved by Joss Whedon himself, the creator of Buffy, unlike the new Slayer sequel. Setting the controversy aside, his influence on Buffy is clear, so the big question now, can the reboot be canon without him? Or should we see it as just another alternate universe in the Buffyverse? Interestingly, the new show still has a small connection to him. The pilot is being written by Nora and Lila Zuckerman, who will also serve as showrunners and executive producers. They worked on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and as you know, Whedon helped build the Marvel Cinematic Universe and co-created S.H.I.E.L.D. So there is some shared DNA when it comes to writing interconnected, character-driven stories. And personally, I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., especially how they developed authentic family dynamics and even romantic subplots for the side characters. That gives me hope for the new Buffy. What does make me nervous, though, is Sarah Michelle Gellar's enthusiasm. Back in the day, she openly admitted she didn't always connect with her character, especially in the later seasons. She once said she couldn't relate to Buffy's depression and she didn't want to see her heroine portrayed that way. But honestly, that's exactly what made Buffy legendary. She wasn't perfect, she wasn't flawless, she was real, and that's what made her strong. Now, with such a young new cast, I don't expect heavy love stories. It seems more likely we'll get an adventure-driven plot. And since the Zuckermans proved themselves on S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm willing to trust them. Sadly, S.H.I.E.L.D. ended up more of a niche success for Marvel fans than a worldwide phenomenon. And truly, that show was so underrated. It deserved way more love. Remember, having the original creator doesn't guarantee success. Just look at Veronica Mars season 4, which returned after a decade. only to disappoint fans. They took away her partner to make her grow up, and honestly, it made no sense. Seriously. Why is pop culture still so afraid to let strong women be loved? These days, many fans argue that Buffy doesn't need a partner, that she's better off alone because she's strong and independent. And sure, she is. But I don't agree with the idea that a strong woman shouldn't have a love interest. It's starting to feel like a tired cliche in modern pop culture, as if strength only comes through solitude, heartbreak, and loneliness. Why? Who decided that? Sure, we've moved past the damsel in distress trope, but why does that mean a woman can't have emotional support from a loving partner?
Love isn't brains, children. It's blood. Blood screaming inside you to work its will.
To me, Spike passed the test. He stood by Buffy not as someone who saw her as a schoolgirl, but as a warrior. Her strength was never too much for him, unlike her other partners, who couldn't handle the weight of her power. Riley literally admitted it. Buffy deserves someone loyal beside her, at her best and at her worst. Not a moral compass or a parent figure like Angel, just support. We need to close the chapter. Buffy chose to spend her last night on Earth with Spike before the final battle, right after the whole cookie dough conversation. The entire 5 to 7 season arc built up Spike as Buffy's romantic interest. So what's the point of mentioning the dude from her high school years now, the one who was totally in love with Cordelia in the spin-off? Yes, the shipping wars are never over. I will be keeping an eye on all the latest developments straight from the set. Let me know, who are you hoping to see return? And who would you definitely not want to show up? I have a feeling a lot of fans aren't ready for Xander, but everyone's really excited about Faith. By the way, the actress stepped away from acting, so I'd be surprised if we see the Dark Slayer again. I can't deny that I'm really curious about what happened to Faith after her adventures with Angel in some of the comic issues. As you've probably guessed, I'm quite the Buffyverse fan, and that curiosity naturally makes me want to dive into all the different continuations of the story. Besides the canonical comics, there's also a reboot where the main romantic arcs follow the original series. Teenage Buffy is interested in other guys, while adult Buffy, even as an older woman, stays with Spike. Seeing silver-haired Buffy with Spike just breaks my heart. And honestly, the high school love story with Robin Wood, I'm just not going to get into that. It doesn't really click for me. So I've rewatched all the Buffy and Angel seasons, gone through seasons 10 to 12 of the comics, and now I'm more than ready for the sequel. Who knows what surprises are waiting for us? Let's wait and find out together. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates.